Ooh, look at this contemporary kitchen and this gorgeous custom bath retreat. Oh, having a custom designed home is really a dream for many of us, but you know what? It's always fun to dream, and today we have a real treat for you. We're going to be visiting Gleason Woodwork Incorporated, and Tom Gleason, who is the owner of the shop, is going to take us on a tour today. They do exquisite high-end custom designs, and I can't wait to see the product. So let's go take a look. Well, Tom, it's so nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too.
Thank you so much. Well, first of all, tell me a little bit about what Gleason Woodwork does.
We are a completely custom shop in woodworking. What you're standing in front right now happens to be a piece of furniture, but it also includes really anything wood in a house, with the exception of floors. We can do the trim, the doors, but probably our forte is custom cabinets. There's some things that are done by machine, and we try to be as modern as the next shop to use the latest CNC or computer equipment to do it, but at the same time it's a lot of hand skills. And the only way to get the hand skills is by experience.
Right, right.
So we have one young man you'll meet later who's just a year journeyman. He went through the 4-year apprenticeship, learned a great deal, and he's just going gangbusters right now.
Tom, after hearing about this, I'm really excited to see how this whole custom cabinetry process begins. So where do we start?
Well, once you've met with your architect or designer, in most cases, it comes to us, and why don't we go to the office and I'll show you what we do next.
Okay.
Here in the office, now that we've signed a contract and we're getting ready to work, the things that we need to do is work out all your materials, your colors, and begin to put things on paper. I do this as a project manager. In fact, that's probably my main role here. As with Chuck, he's also, between the two of us, we handle all of the work within our particular shop. Either one of us then is the interface with you, with your contractor, which is really important, and the other trades involved, plumbing, electrical, flooring people, everyone that would come together, especially something like a kitchen which has multiple trades working on it. Let's say one of the aspects is the materials.
Okay.
And with the materials, in a particular job we'll see later, there's been a choice made as far as English sycamore, and these are different samples that we have picked out by your request. You said you wanted something very figured, which has the highly reflective markings, and you wanted something really light. So we've gone to veneer suppliers and sourced these out and brought them here so that you could take a look at them. If you like the figure on them, what we then would do is actually have these laid up onto a piece of plywood and do a finish sample on them.
Okay.
Now that you've chosen the material, the veneer that you want, there's even more detail involved, that how the veneer is actually laid up on a panel, the matching process, and especially important on a highly figured wood like this English sycamore, that the moire effect, you've gone through and you've decided that you like this particular look, you don't like that. So we've actually marked up these two panels so we can send it to our veneer fabricator who makes up our panels for us to our specifications, so that they understand exactly the way we want it, which is the way you want it. Concurrently, while this is going on, Steve, our CAD engineer, is drawing up your kitchen and doing all the precise details on how everything's going to work, how it's going to go together, what hinges we're going to use on the doors, what materials goes where. And it's, in this particular one, which you'll see later in the shop, it's as complex as anything that we've ever done. It's very geometrical. Not sure if this will really show closely how it's all done, but different colors represent different materials. In this particular one, it's either all the quartered English sycamore or a high gloss white. Steve's drawn it, you've approved it. We're ready to go now as far as the actual fabrication.
Okay.
We come to Bob. Bob takes Steve's drawings and he works directly from those. He can actually zoom down into the tiniest detail to know what the intent was. And he may change a little bit here and there. He does that on the fly, so that when we're done here with the cutting, that every piece matches the drawing, and the drawing then is our language to the rest of the people in the shop as far as putting it together. So the first step after Bob is done is the assembly of the box part of the job, which is what Sean is doing right now. He just clamped up one particular box, so while that's clamping for a short period of time, he's assembling with the dowels the next part of the job. besides assembling just the boxes, there's all the pieces that go on top of the box. Right now, George here is beginning to work with, put on edges of the veneer on some of the door panels that Bob cut before. We do what we can by machine, which is the square edges on the door, but any place that there's a bevel, the machine can't do that. That has to be done by hand.
Okay.
And this particular job has a great many angles on it, and George is working to put those, glue those veneer pieces on. When he's done with that particular door, it'll look like this with the nice edge on the back.
Wow, nice.
On the cabinets themselves, none of this has been sanded out yet. It still needs to be sanded. But on the interior of it,
Oh, yeah.
so there are no shells yet, but this is as far as how it's going to look all together.
Okay.
The project has, we've mentioned, two components. We have the sycamore grain, and when that's done, that's how it looks finished. It really shows the moire effect of the wood on it, highlighted by it's just a clear finish on it. And then these upper components, which are doors, will be painted high gloss.
Okay.
And so these doors become the white high gloss
Wow,
finish.
that's unbelievable.